Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and I'm going to do your November the 23rd, just for today, in a meditation. I'm brought to you by Hope Through Navigation, and this is our Hood Recovery Services. You can reach me at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. Okay, God's will. The relief of letting go and letting God helps us develop a life that is worth living. Basic text, page 26. In our addiction, we were afraid of what might happen if we didn't control everything around us. Many of us made up elaborate lies to protect our use of drugs. Some of us manipulated everyone around us in a frenzied attempt to get something from them so we could use more drugs. A few of us went to great lengths to keep two people from talking to each other and perhaps discovering our trail of lies. We took pains to maintain an illusion of control over our addiction and our lives. In the process, we kept ourselves from experiencing the serenity that comes with surrender to a higher power's will. In our recovery, it is important to release our illusion of control and surrender to a higher power whose will for us is better than anything we can manipulate, or devise for ourselves. If we realize that we are trying to control outcomes and are feeling afraid of the future, there is action we can take to reverse that trend. We go to our second and third steps and look at what we have come to believe about a higher power. Do we truly believe that this power can care for us and restore us to sanity? If so, we can live with all of life's ups and downs, its disappointments, its sorrows, its wonders, and its joys. Just for today, I will surrender and let a higher power's will happen in my life. I will accept the gift of serenity this surrender brings. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the we version of the serenity prayer, please. Moment of silence now. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So refreshing. I needed to hear that. So refreshing. Okay, we're talking about God's will and the relief of letting go and letting God helps us develop a life that is worth living. Let me tell you something. This is just from my own personal point of view. And most of these meditations are, right? I'm expressing my experience, strength, and hope that you're able to relate to your own. When a person is, I can't even say just in the disease of addiction, because the manipulation and the lying and the trying to track who's talking to who and fix, managing, and control is something that is birthed out of the character defect of fear. So we have a tendency, even after we get clean and in the program, and sometimes for years, to still have this shortcoming of trying to make sure all of our dots are in order, that our T's are crossed and our I's are dotted. We have a tendency to do that. However, what I love about this meditation is that if we realize we are trying to control outcomes, let me highlight it for you. It's in the second paragraph. There. If we realize that we are trying to control outcomes and are feeling afraid of the future, that's the character defect that makes a person try to control outcomes. Fear. Okay. Fear is the root cause of individuals that are lying, manipulating, fear of not having enough, fear of being exposed as an individual that really doesn't have good intentions towards certain people, fear of being found out to be a liar. Okay. So fear is the character defect. It says here, there is action we can take to reverse that trend. So a trend is something that has a pattern of behaving a certain way. When we talk about economics, they want to know what's the trend? Are the stock markets going up? Are they dropping? What's the trend here? Because they will look at yesterday's stock market and the one before and the day before and the week before and the month before and try to see what the trend was. What was the pattern? So to reverse a trend means that the momentum prior to that very moment in the here and now, the momentum has to somehow be disrupted. It has to be disrupted. Okay. And the only way for us to be able to do that, well, there's many ways. We could go to sleep, we could call someone, but likely after the conversation has ended, we're going to go back to our racing thoughts about trying to control a situation. After we wake up, we're probably going to find ourselves back in the thick of fear or worry about a situation and what we need to say and how we need to act. There's a way to reverse it that has been proven for people like ourselves. And that is to go to our second and third steps and look at what we have come to believe about a higher power. Because in the second step says that we came to believe that we could be restored to sanity. Not that we have been, but that we could be. And there's a process in the coming to believe, right? Usually, what that process looks like is that you've hit enough dead ends with unbelief that you are now faced with, are you tired of trying to get the results that you're trying to get? Are you willing to believe that there's something greater than you that could bring you a level of sanity that you're seeking? That you can go from the mindset that you had with the disease of addiction, which we know is mostly mental, right? And be restored to sanity where you're not doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. And if you have done that, then did you turn your will and your life over to the care of God, the God of your understanding? See, sometimes we don't know what the understanding is. We don't know what it is. And because we're not sure what it is, then we can't definitively say, yes, I've done that, because we're turning it over to different higher powers during the course of a day, less known a week. The stability that we seek, the letting go and letting God, the stability that we seek. For some people, God is not the word that they're going to, not the title that they're going to give their higher power. They're going to see that and think about religion rather than think about their own lives. And what have you established as your higher power? Is it nature? Is it the ocean, which is part of nature? Is it painting? Is it dancing? What is it that restores you, that you in your lost moments turn to, and you feel like in it you receive the direction and the love and the peace that you need? I don't know what that is for people that are atheist or agnostic, but I guarantee you that I know some very peaceful, kind, loving atheists and agnostics. I do. Not religious in any kind of way, but full of love. So, based on my relationship with my higher power and the God of my understanding, they look a lot like what I believe peace and love should look like from an individual that has a spiritual healthiness about themselves. But if you're struggling with a trend that is pushing you into this, I have to manipulate everyone. You're in this frenzy. You have to control everyone. You got to make sure my sponsor and so don't get together because I don't want my sponsor to know that I'm upset about what he said and or what she said. And I got to make sure that my husband and his best buddy don't talk because I don't want my husband to know that his best buddy was trying to hit it, right? Is that where we're at now? Is that what we're going through now? Is that the peace that we did all this work for? No, it's not, is it? I have a standing policy with my husband. My phone and his phone, we know each other's code. I know his PIN number. He knows my PIN number. I can get into his phone anytime I want to. He can get into my phone anytime he wants to. And occasionally we might be on Facebook and he'll say, "Let me see your phone." And I'll hand him my phone. I don't have any issue handing him my phone. And he doesn't have any issue. Matter of fact, let me tell you something. There's been times when my phone has had so little battery and I needed to run an errand. I would say, let's trade phones. And I take his phone on the errand with me. And then he keeps my phone so that he can receive a call from me if I need him. And he'll put it on the charger for me. Not that I'm boasting about openness, but I am saying that at some point in time, your progress in recovery should reflect the less likelihood that you need to cover over tracks, that you need to have this trail of lies that you don't want anyone to find out about. And if you're struggling with that, whatever it is, I'm just giving you an example for me. Whatever it is, you might want to go back to the second and third step as it's suggested here and figure out where you're at on that because there's a whole world of peace and surrender and happiness and surrender that is available to you if you are willing to do the work. My name is MightyStream. I've enjoyed your company and I will be talking to you tomorrow. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful November 23rd on purpose. Make the best of November 23rd. Make it fabulous. When someone asks you how you're doing, say, "I don't know. I'm not really sure if I look as good as I'm feeling." But honey, let me tell you, this is a wonderful day and I feel amazing. Take care. Talk to you soon.